You got to slow down because you're talking so fast. I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. I'll have to sue the courthouse for a hundredfold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the,
you got to prove that you got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that.
Unless you are a price on a can of beans.
All right, everyone, today we've got a real intense one. Judge Oakley is back. And just like always, he's putting this sovereign citizen right in his place. I honestly really like Judge Oakley. I think he deals with these sovereign citizens better than anyone else out there. But today, this guy is in court for assaulting his girlfriend. And of course, he's doing all the typical sovereign citizen nonsense. Like, seriously, when are these guys ever going to learn I really have no idea? But tell me while you're watching, what do you think this clown's IQ is? Because I have a feeling it's probably not very high anyway. Let's jump in and watch this explosive hearing play out.
Well, Your Honor, I spoke with Mr. Goodman. Mr. Goodman asked me to tell you that the prosecutor in this case has no power of attorney over him. He's an Israelite. There's no grounds under the bar code this matter should be dismissed. I believe he may want to represent himself. You may ask for some clarification if you talk to Mr. Goodman, but that's what he told me to tell you.
Thank you. Mr. Goodman, are you requesting that you represent yourself on this matter? You're muted, Mr. Goodman.
What I'm saying is nobody has power of attorney law over me through the bar code. I'm the beneficiary. My name is not those capital letters, so I'm an Israelite from the 12 tribes. So what I'm saying is I'm representing myself. That's all that needs to be said, because that's what the law is. I got common law jurisdiction. It's a non-violent crime. So I push for it to be dismissed under the bar code.
It's not going to be dismissed today. So simple question. Are you representing yourself from this point forward? Yes or no?
Yes, I'm counseling myself.
All right. Mr. Bowditch, you're out. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I said, are you planning on filing a motion, or would you like to set this case for trial?
I'm planning on filing a motion to dismissal because there's no grounds or no standing over my case, because nobody has power of attorney law to hear me, to even take this process even further. You got to prove that first. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law over me to hear this matter. Okay, I'm an Israelite,
but you don't know what you're talking about.
I do know what I'm talking about. You don't have power of attorney law. The prosecutor don't have power of attorney law. You don't have power of attorney law. It's under the bar code.
Mr. Goodman, please do not interrupt me. I'm trying to be polite.
Okay, it's under the bar code, though. This is what you signed up to do. You're a public servant. So
right, unless you are a price on a can of beans, we don't need a barcode.
Yes, I am. I'm a human being. I'm not a deity. I'm a human being. I'm a living man. I'm a living being. I'm not no cargo. I'm not none of that. It's under the barcode. This is the real law.
Come here.
Yeah, no standing or no ground.
Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date for your motion.
I'm only here to threaten cohesion.
Pardon me?
I want all my rights intact to me at all times.
Oh, so this guy wants every single one of his rights protected at all times, even the ones he basically invented, like the supposed right to drive without a license. That's just not how any of this works. I mean, the government clearly regulates driving because it's considered a privilege, not a right. That's a simple legal reality. But here's the real twist. Now, he's claiming to be an Israelite. Tell me if I'm mistaken, but this honestly feels like a weak attempt to avoid being labeled a sovereign citizen. In the U.S., these sovereign citizens have already been categorized as a terrorist organization, and all of a sudden he's got a completely new identity. It just feels way too convenient now. I don't know about you guys, but to me it really looks like he's trying to dodge the consequences of all the nonsense he's pushing here. Let me know what you think about that, but let's jump back in.
Close to your mic.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. Do you agree?
I can't understand you, so no, I don't agree. I hear you're something
okay,
all the time.
I want all my rights intact to me at all times. I want all my rights intact to me at all times.
All right, I can't understand you. Right,
okay.
Are you still living on border? Are you still living on border? Mr. Goodman, are you still living on border?
Ashley, keep yourself muted, please. Your child keeps crying. Thank you.
No, I live somewhere else. I moved.
All right. Can you give me that address, please?
I stay at hotel rooms from time to time because I don't have no house right now. So I'm in staying in hotel rooms.
Geographically, where are you at today?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. So my next pretrial date is when, Heather?
It is March 8th.
All right. So Mr. Goodman, I'm going to give you a date on March 8th to file a motion. You file a motion, we'll hear it on March 8th. That's going to be in person.
Motion for dismissal?
Whatever you want to file a motion. You said you wanted to file a motion. So I'm giving you a hearing date for your motion.
What time?
We'll schedule that at 10 a.m. and this is going to be live. No Zoom.
All right.
I'm having trouble
All right.
with
I want all my rights and text me all the time.
Pardon
I'm
me?
only here to threaten confusion. I just want all my rights and text me all the times. And everybody just got to prove that they got power of attorney law.
You got to slow down because you're talking so fast I can't understand you. I keep hearing all time, but that's all I'm getting.
Okay, what I'm saying is for the dismissal, I'm about to put it in today. You got to prove that you got power of attorney law from me. I'm going to have to sue the courthouse for 100-fold.
Mr. Goodman, I don't have to prove a damn thing to you, sir. If you're here on the
you got to prove
listen to your motion.
you got to prove that you have power of attorney law over me. You don't have power. I don't care what you're talking about.
Attorney over you, Mr. Goodman. Listen
Yes, you do. You need power of attorney law to talk to me. You ain't got no ground. You ain't no standing. You ain't got no ground to understand it. I got the affidavit of truth right here. I got authenticate birth certificate. I got a letter of intent over here right now. I broke all my contracts with the government. I'm not those capital letters. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. My name is Israel. I'm an Israelite. I'm with the 12 tribes of Israel. You don't got no power of attorney law over me.
Here we go again. This sovereign citizen is threatening to sue the court for $100,000 like that has ever worked for anyone. The truth is you can't sue the court for simply doing its job. These people are just so clueless. If you didn't know, judges have something called judicial immunity, which protects them from lawsuits over decisions they make in court. So every time one of these guys tries to pull the "I'm suing you" card, it's basically a total waste of time. But what really confuses me is how they commit crimes and then suddenly act like they have no idea what's going on when they get caught. I swear this has to be one of the lowest levels of intelligence we've ever seen. And honestly, it's a bit scary because it feels like the U.S. is getting dumber year after year. But don't go anywhere because we're about to move into his next hearing where he's sitting in jail because, surprise, he missed his own court date.
Try it again, counsel. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Your Honor. Patricia Manning for the people, P84088.
All right. And Mr. Goodman, can you hear us okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Ms. Murphy, what are we doing on these files?
Judge, it's my understanding that Mr. Goodman has an appointment at the Forensic Center on January 31st. As Your Honor knows, he has pending cases in Frank Murphy. He went before Judge Michael Callahan yesterday. He was, his bond was reinstated with a tether. I believe Your Honor has put a 250, 10% bond on Mr. Goodman. You know, Your Honor, that I'm going to ask you to reduce that bond to something affordable.
All right. So I've got two files. One file's got that 250, 10% with a GPS tether. That would be the February 5, 2022 incident date. And then the other file, which is the misdemeanor file from May 10, 2019, he's just on a personal on that one with a GPS tether.
Right. And you know, Your Honor, that I don't represent him on the DV.
Right, right. But he finally does have a date for a forensic exam?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. All right. So you just want to adjourn the PCC?
Yes, Judge. And ask for a reduction in bond.
Thank you. And Mr. Goodman, have you talked to an attorney on the domestic violence case? Or are you representing yourself on that one?
I have nobody to represent me. I think it was Lanford or something was supposed to be my attorney. I'm not sure how it went south.
Okay. All right, counsel, go ahead and make your bond argument. But before you do, just so we're all on the same page, my notes say it's $25,000, 10%, no contact with complaining victim, and GPS tether. Is that your understanding?
So, Judge, I thought it was 250,000, 10%, 25,000.
I don't know what I just said, but
Oh,
My file says 250, well, yeah, 250,000, 10%, correct.
so Judge, I mean, obviously that's unaffordable.
Who could have guessed just by looking at this guy's face, I'd say he's got maybe $2 and a Tootsie Roll in his piggy bank. And of course, it's not surprising at all that the public defenders want nothing to do with him. I mean, public defenders are legally required to represent people who can't afford an attorney, but they can still step away if there's a conflict of interest or if the client is completely impossible to deal with. So if even court-appointed lawyers are backing out you already. Know this guy is a total mess, and let's not forget this isn't just some ordinary traffic issue. He's also facing a domestic violence charge for beating his girlfriend in case that slip his mind that's a serious crime with real consequences, and no amount of fake legal jargon is going to get him out of it. So it really shows what kind of terrible person he is. Let's jump back in.
And his significant other just acquired new housing, Your Honor. They have a baby. Mr. Goodman needs to be there to assist with childcare responsibilities because both of them were working before Mr. Goodman was taken into custody. I know we've had some issues, Your Honor, with appearing in court. But Mr. Goodman has had transportation issues with respect to getting to the forensic center, and that was his issue, Judge. The tether violation was simply a malfunction of equipment. So I would ask Your Honor to, and since they do not have means, Your Honor, I would ask Your Honor to reduce I'm asking Your Honor for a personal with the tether.
Response.
Um,
Counsel, you don't have to jump up to talk to me. I know it's instinctive, but it's okay if you don't.
Thank you, Your Honor. It is instinctive. Your Honor, in this case, he is before us for a misdemeanor DV. I understand he does have some pending felonies. I understand he's on a GPS tether for the felonies. I believe at this time, the most important thing is that he remain on, or that if he is released, he remains on a GPS tether. So in this case, I would not object to a personal bond.
All right. Ms. Murphy, unfortunately, this is one of those situations where I don't care what the parties think because I've got a long history. This building's got a long history with Mr. Goodman not showing up in court.
I absolutely love Judge Oakley, guys. You can just tell he's a genuinely good person who doesn't tolerate the nonsense. Like even when both sides agreed to let this clown walk free, Judge Oakley wasn't going for it. He knew exactly what to do and gave this guy a harsh dose of reality. And honestly, that's what a good judge should do. Let me know what you all thought about that case in the comments. I thought it was really good, and it's honestly refreshing to watch. Judge Oakley, I especially like that. Last part, but now we're about to jump into another court hearing with Judge Boyd. Things get pretty heated, and this young defendant decides it's a great idea to talk back to the judge. He's just talking and trying to act cool, and it really doesn't work out for him. Let's go ahead and jump in and see how it turns out.
I really don't got any excuse besides I got insomnia.
I'm sorry, what?
I really don't got any excuse, but I got insomnia.
He overslept, Judge.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
All right. So here's the thing. You need to be on time for court. Otherwise, you know what's going to end up happening? Whether you're 20 or 18, guess what? We'll make sure that you come on time. If you're not on time, we'll know where you are. You know how we'll know that?
Got my address.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, y'all got my address.
No, because you'll be in Orange and we'll bring you over from the jail. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
How far did you go in school?
In school?
Yes.
To 10th grade.
All right. Why did you only go to the 10th grade?
I dropped out
Why?
because there was like a lot of drama.
All right. So let me explain to you about drama. Drama is you coming before the court and not addressing the court properly. Drama is using slang and not proper English coming before the court. So my advice is you probably want to get your GED so that you can get a job, because now it is hard to get good employment without at least a high school diploma. And even if you have a high school diploma, it's still hard. Guess what? People who go to college, and I'm not talking to people who go to college and they're getting a degree in philosophy, finding a job. I mean, people who are going to college, getting a degree in engineering, biology, they're all having a hard time finding employment. So you come along and you don't even have a 10th grade education and you're trying to get employment, it does not look good. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you employed?
I was employed.
So that's a no, right? You're not working?
No, ma'am.
So that means that your mom or somebody is supporting you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So when you come back here on the 27th, you're going to come on time and you're going to address the court properly. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
I just had to include that last clip because I thought it was pretty interesting that someone would be bold enough to talk to a judge the same way they talk to their friends. Like, seriously, you can't just show up in court and act like you're hanging out at a bar with your buddies. But anyway, the main thing I want to talk about is the previous case with the sovereign citizen. This guy was yelling on Zoom the first time around, which, by the way, has to be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen. You can't behave like that in court, especially when it's online. And honestly, I think these sovereign citizens should be required to appear in person. There's just something about seeing them face to face that makes it much harder for them to pull all the drama they do from behind a screen. It's easy to act tough when you're hiding behind a computer, but in person they'd have to deal with the consequences of their actions. And to my other point, it really feels like judges are getting softer. These days I get that we all want to be fair and give people a chance, but there's a fine line between being fair and being too lenient. There are some cases where these sovereign citizens need a real wake-up call, not more opportunities to make fools of themselves, and court judges need to stop letting these clowns drag things out and just put their foot down. At the end of the day, they're the ones who hold the power to make sure people don't waste everyone's time, all right? Guys, that's enough of my rant, though. I'd love to hear what you think about this whole situation. I enjoy reading your comments. So let me know what you thought. Do you think Judge Oakley was being fair in that first hearing? Because honestly, I think it was more than fair. But if you enjoy content like this, I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. I post every day, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, everyone.